Hey guys, I'm Rachel Cruz.
I'm George Camel.
And this is Smart Money Happy Hour. Cheers.
Cheers.
Well, this is the show where two friends who happen to be money experts talk about what you're talking about. So everything from pop culture, current events, and money.
And today we are low-key talking about the future of the world. And of course, how money gets wrapped into all of that.
Yeah, because it's a legit situation here, George. So we're going to be breaking it all down on what pop culture has to say about humanity, where it's headed.
Oh boy.
So we're actually going to look in the past and see what did people say the
very
future was going to be.
existential.
It's going to be crazy. And what we think life is going to be like here in a few decades, and why the Smart Money Happy Hour fam doesn't have to stress even if we're wrong, which is a good thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of... It's fun, but it's also frightening to imagine what things could be.
I know. It's going to be a great episode.
Well, since my imagination really likes to let loose after a good cocktail, I'm glad we're sipping on this one today. What is it, Rachel?
I know.
Let's hear your pronunciation. It's so French.
This is the correct pronunciation, and it's called a futuristic.
Not according to the Frenchman I Googled on YouTube.
And how would you pronounce it, George?
I can't even get the French accent down.
Do it. It's so stupid. Do it.
My feelings are hurt, and I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it.
What? Do it. You've been doing it all before we started
rolling. It gives me more satisfaction not to do it now. Fine, I'll do it. Vieux carré. Vieux carré. He said it's fine if you want to butcher it in the video. He's like, I know Rachel's going to butcher it and say,
you go to a restaurant, do not say, say futuristic.
Well, you know the server is judging you as you say, I'll have a futuristic.
No, they're not. That's what it's called.
Vieux carré.
I can't even do it.
And here's my first prediction of the show today, Rachel. If people stick around till the end of the episode, we might give them the rating, the recipe, and the cost breakdown.
Oh, that's a good prediction.
Wild
in
prediction.
The future, we'll have to see if it comes true or not, George.
Juicy. Let's get to it.
Okay.
Does the word Walter Cronkite mean anything to you?
Walter. Oh, man.
It's
All
okay.
the boomers are going to get mad at me.
I know.
Because what I would say, I think he was on the nightly news. I feel like he delivered very important information to America. And he had a famous voice. And all that.
You're right, but in a way that it's like you can't be wrong. You know what I mean? If this was like
He's
Miss
just
America.
A man.
In the countries of such as the U.S., it gives me that vibe. You know what I mean?
I know. That's sweet, girl.
But to be fair, I was kind of like, he's the guy on TV. Yeah, just like the old-timey TV news anchor.
Okay, yeah.
That's a good summary.
Yeah.
So, he was on CBS
he was
Evening
on the
News.
news. Oh, he was. Okay.
Yep, CBS Evening News in the 60s and 70s.
Yep.
So, sorry that we're not super familiar because we weren't even a twinkle in our parents' eye at that point. And our team saw an old clip from the year 1967 posted on Twitter, which is so strange that 1967 meets Twitter /X, the new name of Twitter.
Yeah, and I think about my parents because they were 1960s babies, born 1960. So they were both 7 years old.
Little baby Dave watching the news. Walter Cronkite. I don't know if that's how he talked at 7. I doubt it. He's probably doing real estate deals by then with his buddies, like fake ones with his toys. That's fine. Okay, we're already off the rails.
Oh my gosh.
So in this clip on Twitter, Walter, I call him Walter, was predicting what a family living room and home office would look like by the year 2000, according to a government report at the time. And the clip is juicy. We can't play it here, probably for legal reasons. I have no idea. But we're going to put the clip in the show notes.
Yes, watch it.
It's a minute long. It's so old-timey.
It is,
will
but
warm
then
your
it's
soul.
kind of funny because a lot of it came true.
Yes.
A lot of it, you're like, that's exactly what you can do right now.
So here's the big predictions they had for the year 2000. So remember, this is 23 years ago.
Yeah, and this one was wrong. So the first one was wrong. But the average U.S. worker would have a 30-hour work week and a 1-month vacation.
We're not that European.
Yes. Okay, the next one, very true. You would be able to watch a football game on a screen at home.
Okay.
Oh, well,
yeah.
That we can do.
Thumbs up to that one. I don't know why football games instead of other things, but sure.
Next, you ready? You'll be able to get the news by satellite from anywhere in the world.
Wow.
That's
a good prediction.
I know. And they didn't even know about the internet. And that's it.
Okay, how about this one? You'll be able to visibly see people while talking to them on the phone. FaceTime.
Happening.
And then lastly, you'll be able to work from home with all this new technology. And here we are.
Here
Lots
we are,
of people
post
working from home.
2020. And
Now, the year 2000, not that many people were working from home.
that's fair. Yeah,
So
yeah.
if they were guessing 2023, I'd be like, nailed it. But
Yeah, they needed an extra 20-year buffer to get that part.
yeah, the
But you
computers
could-
in 2000 were
But you
rough.
could still watch the news wherever
Yep.
in 2000. You could, watch football from home in the year 2000.
That's a very
so some
important
of
one
it
for
did
me.
still happen. But
That's pretty good.
was FaceTime? No.
No. They were wrong about timing for a lot of this. But
Yes.
they were
Okay.
right about that it would happen. And
Yeah.
honestly, the fact that the government was right about anything, I think that's, good for them.
Well done.
Well done,
Really
government.
on the
You're not going to get that out of Rachel, but
get that on the straight path. Oh
All
my
right.
gosh.
let's move on.
Okay, so let's tell everyone about our predictions, George. What do you think life is going to be like in, 40 years? That's 2063.
Okay, I predict I'll be 74.
Okay, I'll be 75.
Good prediction.
Good
Wild
prediction.
guess.
Wow, that means little baby Mia will more than likely possibly have babies of her own.
I'll have a 40-year-old
Are you ready?
daughter. Thank you for that.
You'll possibly be a grandfather, I would think.
Yeah, if she's 40,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. So, we'll be grandparents.
Yep.
75, 74.
Hopefully still alive. I mean, can I put that caveat out there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're like shooting for the 90s.
That would be wonderful, just to be alive and healthy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Still be doing this show.
I wonder what AI is going to, I wonder what technology information
Yeah.
will be like.
Do you think we've hit sort of we're not going to go that much further? There's
Yeah.
already a smartphone. So we already have a digital technological device. So other than the size of the screen and what we can do on the internet.
And where it is, glasses or whatnot, right?
Yeah, I don't
there
know that
an-
we're all going to
like
be
a-
wearing our phones and our glasses. I don't buy that.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm.
Think about it. You don't like to. Half the people in this room don't want to wear glasses.
Yeah, that's true.
All of a sudden, we're going to force people to wear glasses? I don't buy it.
Okay.
Do you think
Good.
humanity will be full of lazy slobs or bionic superhumans?
Ooh. Man,
Just
why
follow
was
your
lazy?
heart.
Lazy slobs was my first knee jerk, which makes me so sad.
Well, I think of Wall-E, and so my brain goes yes, most of us will be
I know.
lazy slobs.
I think the screens, and I think yes, we're not getting healthier, are we? I don't think
no,
we are. As
I think we can all agree.
as
we're
a
just going
society.
downhill.
Yeah,
At least in the U.S.
yeah.
What do you think people will eat?
Oh man.
Trash food.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's today, right?
Astronaut food? Do you think they'll just
No, I think food. No, I think food is It's still a thing
okay.
in 40 years.
You don't think it's not going to evolve?
No, because I think it's too much of a social staple for people.
Oh.
You go to a nice restaurant, you go out to eat with friends. It's a event.
But I don't pizza. Don't break it. It's not broken. Don't
Yeah.
try to fix it.
Right.
Pizza will be here 40 years from now.
I think so too.
74-year-old,
believe that.
5-year-old Rachel will be
We're
eating
gonna believe
pizza.
that. Mhm.
What will a gallon of milk cost? Just guess. Number.
Oh gosh.
So currently,
I'm gonna go double. I bet it'll be it'll be $7.
okay, today national average is $4.26.
Yeah, I'm gonna say $7.
Back 40 years ago, 1983, it was $1.17.
Yeah.
I went $10.
Okay, so you're a little bit more than me.
Yeah.
Okay, cup of coffee 40 years ago, it was $2.50. Today, it's roughly $4.90. So $2.50 to $5, it doubled. I think it will keep going up.
I'm going $6 for a cup of coffee. Just a straight cup of
In
coffee.
40 years?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going 8.
I think we've hit a
Easily.
limit on just brewed coffee. I think your lattes.
people still drink it. Are you kidding?
Yeah, but your lattes will get more expensive.
They're everywhere.
Because the milk is more expensive.
You're talking a language I don't understand.
We could break this down. We will not.
It's just coffee.
Gallon of gas.
Oh gosh, today's what
382
4?
is
Okay.
the national average. 40 years ago it was
Oh, this is
116.
an interesting one.
So
I
it has
mean,
tripled in 40 years. Do you think it'll triple again to $10 a gallon?
I just went with the Tesla movement, the electric car movement. What does that do to the oil industry?
Oh, you think way more people will be driving electric, making gas cheaper? Because if there's not enough demand,
Yeah,
the price
but then
would go
all the
down.
people that are part of the oil companies, are they moving on to other venture? Is the reason, you know what I mean? I get.
We're talking big gas now.
I'm gonna say I'm going to say 6.
I said 6. Okay, how much will a home cost in 40 years? This one could get depressing. 1983, average home, 75 grand. 2022, average home, 455 grand.
Oh my gosh.
What will it be 40 years from now?
$1 million, right?
It feels like a 4-year-old. You're like, $1 million? Sure.
Yeah, I would say $1 million.
I went 750.
Okay. Yeah, I think
There's a certain cap. I'm not saying that it can't be $1 million.
But for the average, yeah, I'm like, yeah.
Okay,
I think it
weddings.
just keeps going up. Oh, yeah. Okay, so today, average $30,000, 1980s, $10,400. Weddings, I'm going to go 50 to 60.
Okay, I went 75.
Oh, fancy schmancy.
Well, and people are more, it's more Instagram culture, so you would want to kind of flex.
Oh, yep. Yeah.
We're just going to get more and more of that.
Continuing
where weddings
to do that.
become just about your reputation and for the Instagram versus utility.
Good. That's good.
Okay, this one's real, Rachel. How much will a 4-year degree cost 40 years from now?
Oh.
That one hurts my stomach a little bit to just think about.
I know. That's a good question. I don't know, because you look at the average cost of tuition, over the past decade or so, and you look back in 1980s, the average price to attend the 4-year college was $10,231 annually. And now, again, the average student now is graduating with $37,720 in debt.
Ooh.
So, again, the averages are all over the map depending on private or public today, the tuition. But it's gone insane. I mean, it is. It's crazy.
So not only is it going to get wildly more expensive potentially, but it's going to cause people to go further into debt.
Yeah, if that's what they're
hurting their financial future.
Yeah, for sure.
And we already have a giant crisis on our hands with this $1.6 trillion, over 40 million people in student loan debt. And the payments are coming back, Rachel.
I know.
And people are starting to get, the tingly feeling, the little sweat on the brow, on the palms, because they're going, I wasn't planning on this, and now I've got to start budgeting for it.
Yep, that's right. Yeah.
And that's kind of what we do around here is we help people get out of debt, and student loans are no different. It's like any other type of debt, and we believe everyone can get out.
Yep, that's exactly right. So we even said, okay, what can we do as a company to help people and show people how to do this?
Give them some hope in a scary time.
Yep. So again, we don't want people going into debt for college. We show you how to pay cash for college because we think that's really important. So we have a free live stream around this whole student loan crisis. If you go to RamseySolutions.com/student loans, you can sign up for it. Because again, we want to help people say, hey, if your payments are coming back and it's freaking you out, which I get how it would, what do you do about it? So we're going to walk people through all of that.
That's awesome. Yeah, be sure to go check that out. Instead of just freaking out looking at headlines, let's figure out what we can do about it. And that's what this live stream is all about. So I hope everyone can tune in and tell your friends.
Yep.
All right, Rachel, let's move on. How will we travel in the future?
Oh, I think the next thing will be Elon Musk. I think, isn't he doing like a secret highway in LA? Like the tunnel thing?
I think I've heard about that.
Like, I wonder if there's going to be these like faster ways to get around.
But I feel like only billionaires will be able to travel. Like there'll have to be a $1 billion membership to be able to use the tunnel.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like we can't
true.
all just use these tunnels. That's insane.
Yeah, that's probably, yeah.
I don't even think we'll all be driving electric cars. I think electric cars will increase, but I don't think we're all going to be like forced to give up our gasoline cars.
I don't think it's like a forced thing, but I do think people are like, oh yeah, if I can get a hybrid or if I can get this or that, why would I not?
Yeah.
And I think the average consumer will naturally go there.
I think they'll
But that's
all
from
the
an
cars,
electric car driver.
They'll still have wheels. I don't think we're going to just be hovering around anytime
Not
soon.
in 40 years. No, in 100 years, maybe.
Okay. I won't be around to see if you're right, Rachel. So way to go winning that argument.
Up to the ante a little bit. Okay, technology. What do you think? Do you think like you can like try on clothes through like a hologram kind of thing? Like the hologram thing's interesting. I don't know if I even fully understand it. Didn't Michael Jackson do one?
Oh yeah.
Like
I
you
think
could like
maybe
go
Prince was a hologram.
and you could like
too.
watch a full concert, right, of Michael Jackson?
Yeah. I feel like you would pay money to see a holographic Taylor Swift. And if it was like the full experience and it kind of looked like she was really there.
This sounds like really
It's blaring
morbid.
through the
This is very
speakers.
morbid, so forgive me. Is this before or after she passes away?
Oh, well, I feel like after would be the play here.
Okay, that's what I was hoping. I was like, I don't think I would go see a hologram
While she's
of Taylor
alive.
Swift while she's alive.
I would do it if it was like $20 instead of paying $4,000 for a ticket. I'd be like, yeah, I'll just go do that instead.
Okay, like I remember Clueless, the movie. She had like the rotating closet and she like had the screen and she was like putting together an outfit, like all that. Like, do you think like technology is going to be more woven into our lives?
I think it will for
way?
like the uber rich. I think for the normal everyday person, we're not all going to be.
So you're not going to go above the iPhone. Like the iPhone is it. You think we've maxed out at the iPhone?
I think Steve Jobs nailed it. I don't know that we can do much better.
That's so interesting.
Android
George.
will never catch up. I think iPhone is the pinnacle at this point. All right, Rachel, we've talked about technology a lot, but let's talk about the future of money specifically. Because that's what this show's all about. Smart money happy hour.
I know. Okay, so what will money look like in 40 years? Do you think we will have like a digital currency?
Yes.
Yep.
Do I think it will replace all other types? No. But will it be an option? Sure.
Like it is now.
Yeah. We're almost there. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I don't think we'll have cards. I think it'll all be
touchless with your phone.
I think it'll be a phone or like,
they're starting to get into like the fingerprint situation.
Yes, I think it's going to be more of that, which is crazy.
But I think cards will still work. You know, like people.
In 40 years, I don't think people will do that. It's like writing checks. It's like if you pull out a card, everyone's like, oh, he has a card.
Yeah.
Oh, that sweet old 74-year-old
you think
man.
it's going to be like writing a check?
Yeah.
Like old lady pulls out her card at the grocery store, like, oh gosh, this lady's going to take a while.
100%. Yeah. No, I think it's quick with phones. Yes, that or your eyes. Like you go to Clear at the airport.
Sure.
And they do like the retina scan. I think it'll be more like that kind of technology, which is scary that the government or the banks have like parts
a database
of like your fingerprint, your eyes. Like that's kind of creepy.
I already did 23andMe, so I feel like I'm done for. You know what I mean?
Why did you do that, George?
Here's my take. I don't think anyone out there thinks I'm that interesting. So like this idea that they're all like, they're listening to our phone calls and they're going to use our data. Like they're going to just try to sell me a reverse mortgage one day with my data. Like who cares? You know what I mean? What do you think's going to happen?
I don't know. I just think they are collecting DNA from people.
Okay, if they have my DNA, what are they going to do? Recreate
DNA
me?
Stuff. Yeah, they can take
That's amazing for the world. What a blessing.
What a blessing.
What a blessing the world got blessed with. That there's now like little bionic Georges running around.
Yeah, you know they're doing it for criminal stuff too, George, so you can't go murder anyone because
I don't plan on
they're
it.
now taking
Again, not a fear for me. They're going to be like, what if you commit a crime and they catch you because they have your DNA? I'm like, good, I should go to jail if I committed a crime.
No, I know. But I'm just saying it's weird for them to have like a part of you though. Not like a conversation, but like a physical part of you. It's weird.
I mean,
anyways, I'm not doing any of those websites.
Okay. This is a new conspiracy episode we just spun up. Will cash still exist? This is the big fear. I did a whole episode on my YouTube channel about the cashless society. Is it going to happen? Some businesses are already saying, hey, we don't take cash.
I know. I think it will. I think it'll eventually fade out, which is scary because I think there's a level of control now people can have over our money more so when it's digital.
Well, there's more kind of surveillance. If it's all digital, it can all be tracked. Where right now, if you give me $1, we don't really know what happened to that dollar.
So yeah, I think I think it'll go more to to digital stuff than cash.
I think cash will still be around. I think it'll still be legal tender, and I think most places will still take it.
Okay. Yeah.
Cash is still king 40 years from now.
I like that.
Now, when we say cash, that can mean a lot of things. But right now, we're talking about the paper.
I'm talking about
coins,
like a bill.
Yeah. Some banks are saying we don't take coins anymore. That's kind of a new one.
Ooh, the no coin.
But
thing.
You could just still go to Coinstar and then cash it in to get a gift card or whatever. You know.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
Find a way around the system.
I'm not worried about it. I don't have like billions of dollars in coins. I'm like, no, my coins.
I know, totally. You know? Will people on average be richer or poorer, do you think?
Oh.
Like the standard of living and the...
I think the gap may widen.
Yeah, it's continuing to widen.
Yeah, but I don't think overall... Here's what I think. We're all going to be making over $100,000 and feel broke. That's kind of the future I see.
Consumerism, I think, goes faster than wages.
Regardless of inflation, we will always outspend what we earn. We'll always want to keep up our lifestyle.
It's a human condition, not an economic or history
Exactly.
condition. Yeah.
So I think we're all going to make more money, and everyone's going to be like, it's not enough. There's no number in retirement that will make me feel secure, and really points back to our management of money.
Yeah.
So that's the hot take.
I think that's fair. So obviously, we don't know what the future holds, you guys. We're just looking at kind of trends, making our predictions.
It's a wild guess. It's a hunch.
Yes. But at the end of the day, again, that's all out of our control, right? We can't control what the future is going to do, but we can control what we choose to do regardless of the year, right? And that's what's crazy is the money principles from like the 1960s, would have still made you wealthy if you use those principles again today. Because
That's true.
they're tried and true, right?
The underlying
So
principles
that's
are
what
still
you
there.
can control. Is like, okay, what am I going to choose to do with my money?
That's really good. Yeah, I love this old verse from Proverbs 21:20. In the house of the wise are stores of choice food and oil, but a foolish man devours all he has.
Yep.
So that principle, regardless of your faith background, it applies.
Yes. In the house of the wise, there is, yes.
Foolish people, their stuff's gone. They spent all their paycheck.
Yep.
It's gone.
And food and oil was like a commodity, right? They used that to trade and to barter. So it was almost like money.
It was
so
a highly coveted resource.
yeah. So like when you're wise, you have some of that. You have margin, all of that. And yeah, foolish people just spend everything they make. So you want to have that margin.
So we're, even 40 years from now, if you spend everything you make, you're going to be broke. And if
That's
you can
exactly
learn
right.
to live on less than you make and have some emergency savings in place and be investing for the future, you're going to be okay.
You're going to be okay, regardless of what happens.
I don't spiral out of control thinking about the future. Do you?
No.
I'm not that worried. I'm more worried about like raising a kid in the modern era than I am like, what's the world going to be like financially?
Look at you
I know.
shifting your perspective.
It's a lot. You have a whole, I don't know. Did you experience that? Because you brought kids into this world not long ago.
Oh, sure. Yeah. You worry less about yourself.
But now in the digital
Because
age
for
and
us,
technology.
we're going to be out hopefully sooner than them, right? So I'm like, oh my gosh, the world that they're living in, that they're just now entering, you're like, whew.
With all the technology.
Yes, and everything.
Woo.
So it's wild. But again, controlling what you can control. We can't control the future. We can't control if it's glasses that we look at our phones at or our actual phones, like whatever it is. Being aware of our actions and our habits around money, I think, is really key.
Yes, and not making decisions based off of fear. Because a lot of people, as they look to the future, they're like, well, Rachel, I'm going to totally empty my 401k to go buy gold because it's all coming down.
Yep.
Please don't do that.
No.
And don't bury your money in tin cans in the backyard. Look at perspective, history, the stock market. You're going to be okay if you just do wise things and not live out of paranoia.
That's right.
So before we wrap this episode, I wanted to cover some predictions from past movies that predicted the future to see if they were right or not. And I think the one that comes to mind first is obviously Back to the Future 2.
Yes. Released in 1989.
Year I was born.
And it was set in 2015. October 15, 2015.
Wow.
To be exact. So their predictions were flying skateboards, VR glasses, smartwatches, self-adjusting fashion. So like shoelaces that would like tie themselves, that kind of
They
stuff.
invented that. It's called Velcro. I don't know why they got rid of those shoes. Those were awesome.
Oh, they're there. They're still there. Robots doing human jobs, appliances that could talk to you, flying cars, flat screen TVs. All of it. And interesting fun fact, the Chicago Cubs in the movie predicted that they would win the World Series in 2015. And they were a year off. They won in 2016.
Well, that means
they were
wrong.
pretty far in the future.
That's pretty impressive, though. I mean, most of the stuff on this list, they were right about.
Wait, what? I was going to say the opposite.
VR glasses, smartwatches,
Flying
I'm wearing
skateboards.
Okay, flying skateboards
self-adjusting
is now.
fashion. Robots doing human. I guess
Robots doing human jobs exist for sure.
Appliances that can talk to you.
Yeah, Siri, your TV voice remote.
Oh.
I talk to Google more than my wife most days. She doesn't want to hear from me.
Oh man, I guess it is true. I wasn't really thinking about all that.
Flat screen TVs,
Mobile
biometrics
payments.
and mobile payments.
Wow, George. Okay, yeah, fair.
So skip the flying skateboards and flying cars.
Yeah.
Flying, take that out of the equation.
Everything else, kind of there.
Nailed it.
Okay, next one is one of my faves, Xenon, Girl from the 21st Century. It was released on Disney Channel as a Disney Channel original movie. We all love those.
Words, nostalgia right there.
Those were great. Okay, it was released in 1999, and the movie was set in 2049.
Wow. 50 years in the future.
Yep. So it was that, humans could casually leave Earth and then go into space. And
not quite there.
Yeah, and
Keep
they would have
going.
very fancy space stations, right? So it would be like you could travel between Earth and space, but it was like really fun. There were like clubs and restaurants. It's like a very just like cool place to be. Very like neon clothing. Chelsea Clinton was president
Okay.
in the movie. Recycling was a big deal. A huge part of the fashion too.
That one
Went to
came
the
true.
clothes.
I feel like that's big in fashion.
Yeah. Data is stored on tiny CDs.
Okay.
Do you remember mini CDs? There
Yeah.
was a phase of mini CDs back in the day
yeah.
of our
so they
day.
were close on that. I'll give that one to them.
Yeah.
Now we went away from CDs to like thumb drives. Now it's all digital. So that's
right.
close enough.
That's right. Yeah. So I would say I mean, overall, though, not spot on. I mean, the whole
I
idea
think
of
anything
living
involving
in
space, we were too far off.
Yeah.
Because to your point, Rachel, why aren't we going back all the time?
We don't know.
Do, 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 do.
Next, The Matrix.
Oh, yeah.
This was
released in 99.
Yep.
Same year as Xenon.
That's right.
Which one was better? Only time will tell.
Only time
and
will
Rotten
tell.
Tomatoes. That will tell you as well. So this cemented Keanu as an icon, and it was set in the year 2199-ish. The movie doesn't quite confirm, but it was around that era.
Yep.
And there's some major dystopian predictions here. A little darker than Xenon, a little less clubbing, and a little more robots taking over the world. So the machines take over. They're trying to enslave humanity, harvest our energy, and keep us blissfully unaware of our oppression by entertaining our brains with super realistic virtual reality. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
All of it. So wild. Man, George. Okay. So what do you think we can take from this? Because think about like The Handmaid's Tale, The Hunger Games, The Brave New World. Like there's like some really like depressing stuff out there about the future.
Well, I think a movie that was set in the future and it's like, everything is great. I don't think anybody would watch that.
Yeah.
They know our human hearts want to see, like, it could all go down, man. It's going to be I Am Legend.
What's it going to be?
It's going to be Bird Box. It's going to be A Quiet Place. It's going to be WALL-E. We're all just going to be rolling around in chairs.
Yep.
Drinking from Slurpees.
I know.
Which that part, I think, came true in WALL-E. They were spot on in that.
There was a level of that could be true. Yeah. But again, I think the biggest message, the future, regardless of what happens, we still have our human dignity and our human, the assumption that we're going to be able to make choices in our free will to the best of our abilities, to our values.
That's true.
I think that's key.
That's really well said. And I do think as people of faith, this is kind of a temporary pit stop,
For sure.
The earth, it's all temporary.
It is.
So I don't get too invested in what's going to happen now, what's happening in the future. Mm-hmm. I try to do the right next thing for me and my family and not worry about what's going on out there.
Right.
Because
you
could happen out there.
You can make some bad decisions if you're like that paranoid and freaked out. People don't make wise decisions with money.
I have enough anxiety as it is without thinking about what could be 40 years from now. I'm like, we got enough problems today, guys. Can we just try to fix those first?
I know. Figure this out. Well,
but there's a lot you can do, especially when it comes to money, because that's the fear is, 40 years from now, Rachel, everything's going to be so expensive, we'll own nothing, and that's how they want it, and it's this big conspiracy, and I'm like, or you can just set yourself up in spite of all that.
Yeah.
And increase your income,
today.
Get on a budget, and get out of debt.
Yes.
And so if you're truly worried about that, prove it by getting on a budget, getting out of debt, having some money in the bank, investing for the future, instead of just complaining about it, saying, what's the point, Rachel? It's all coming down anyways.
Totally, yes.
That's
because
exhausting.
The future you is going to want to have a great life. That's what I always think about when we're putting money away for investing, or you write a check for the Roth IRA and you're just like, you're doing stuff that you're like, man, I wish I could, or I am. I'm like,
oh yeah,
there's stuff I could do today with that money to have so much fun. I always think Rachel, 6-year-old Rachel is going to want to have a lot of fun in life. So we need to give her
that's true.
a really fun life. Where Rachel today, she's having fun. It's great. Not
but there's
complaining.
some delayed gratification.
Yes.
There's some maturity there.
But think
where
about
you're
the
going,
future self of you and work towards that version of you too.
75-year-old Rachel's going to be like, wow.
I'm going to be so fun.
The fun grandma. She takes you to the space clubs.
I can't wait.
I don't know what you probably. That's a possibility in your mind.
Maybe.
Going full Xenon.
Who knows what's going to happen? But
oh boy. Well, I hope I'm alive to see it.
Just set your future self up well.
I hope I'm alive to respond to your text and say I'm not interested in going to the space club tonight. Me and Winston, we're going to watch Dumb and Dumber, a vintage movie.
A vintage movie back in the day.
The kids won't understand.
Oh,
that was
so
fun. Are you hopeful
good,
or cynical
George?
in general, Rachel, about the future? Hopeful or cynical?
I'm hopeful. I think I think life is great, and I think there's always going to be the parts that are not great, but overall, I think it's how you choose to see it too.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
I do. I really
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, Rachel.
Yeah,
as they say.
I believe that. I agree
You believe
with
the
that.
best in people. You really do. You are. That's you in this show. You being like, well, give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they were having a bad day.
I don't
You
know.
make up wild scenarios to justify any human behavior, and I appreciate that
You
about
never know their story.
Everyone needs a Rachel in their life to
Just
be
never know.
more fun and more hopeful, and also to share some conspiracy theories.
Thank you. And you need a George in your life to say,
Carré. That was pretty good. You're improving. You're more cultured than you've ever been.
Thank you, George.
And the
All
bar
because
was
of
low.
you.
I'm just kidding. You were just in Napa. You're so cultured. That's where culture happens. All right. It's almost the end of the episode, and that brings us to our long-running segment.
Guilty as charged. And this is where our producer, Lindsay, gives us a new guilty as charged question every week. So, Lindsay, what is it?
What does our future hold?
What does our future hold?
Well, what are you guilty of buying recently because your friend told you about it and you felt like you had to have it?
Oh, man.
Like, which friend influenced you? And what
That's
did they
really
influence
good.
you buying?
Okay, are you ready for this one? I have one from last night. And I technically hadn't bought it on Amazon, so maybe this doesn't count. But I was like, oh, we gotta have that. Okay, so I follow a girl, Courtney. She's out of Nashville. She's called the Cheese Gal. I've had her on my show before. And she showed this fruit fly trap that you plug into the wall.
The light. Me and Jordan just heard about this from our friend and bought it.
Oh, my gosh, that's it. I know. And I was like, I've got to buy
It starts with a V, right?
So I think I stuck it in my Amazon carts because it's like $12 or something.
Yep.
And I was like,
It works.
oh, it does.
Yes.
This literally happened 24 hours ago. So that would be mine.
Oh, I was looking at my Amazon purchases, and I lead a very boring life. If you want to know something about someone, just let them see your Amazon order
that's
history.
a good one.
I
That's
think
a good
that
one.
tells all.
Yes.
Mine is a portable tire inflator.
Actually, George, I'm so proud of you. That's
Thank
a great one to have.
Thank
and that's
you.
very manly. Well done.
Thank you.
That is
It is-
really,
I get that a lot, but coming from you.
yes.
No, my
and
friend
this-
came over and he had one, and I was like, my tire's low, and I got to take it to like one of these
and
gas
Winston
stations.
has one, and it's like, brrr, and
It does the burr sound. But now I can keep it in my car, and if I get
Yes,
a little flat, I can
George.
keep it going on the road. And I felt like, as a new dad, this is a very dad move.
I'm very proud of you, George.
So that was a big one. I saw my friend have one. I was like, I got to get one now.
Yeah. Well done.
I was influenced.
I love it. I think it's great.
Thank you. So
Great
I guess
one.
we both drink to
Yeah,
that.
we were both guilty.
Vieux
Cheers.
Carré.
Vucre.
Tui Chizon.
It was delicious.
Very good. Well, speaking of that, it's time for the drink, Rachel.
Yes. Did I win?
I think we're about even.
Yeah.
You know what?
Okay.
I won.
Take it back, George.
I'm going to give this drink a 10 out of 10.
I will too.
I don't know that you could improve upon this drink or the mixologist's take on it, Michael Reddish.
And again,
You crushed it.
a lot of my rating is what I ordered at a restaurant,
And you would.
and I would.
So here's what's in this drink if you want to try it at home. It's got rye whiskey, cognac, sweet vermouth, Benedictine, Peychaud's bitters, and Angostura bitters.
It's a lot.
There's a lot of
There's a
things going on
lot.
there.
There's a lot in it. So it's an
pretty
investment.
booze forward, but I think the
Very
flavor is
boozy.
very balanced. And it comes out to $3.33.
Oh, really?
I thought
it'd
it was
a-
gonna be more.
Me too, because there's so many ingredients you have to have.
Yeah. So if you have the ingredients at home, this could be an affordable drink. If you
Yeah.
go to make it from scratch with none of the ingredients, you'll be spending a pretty
Yeah,
penny.
it'll cost you a little
But
bit.
hey, we'll put the recipe in the show notes if you want to try it at home. And this is like a bougie drink. This is like a high-end cocktail bar type of drink.
Yeah, not all places would have
You
it.
may not get this at your local Chili's.
Yeah. So
I could be wrong.
But if you
Tell
go to
me
like
if your local
if you go
Chili's
to a
makes
nice
this.
restaurant though, they should be able to make it for you.
Yes, that's the test if it's a nice restaurant.
I know.
Do they know what that drink is? Even if
Same
Rachel
for,
says
same
it.
for a Vesper. Not some people don't know what it is.
We love a Vesper.
So, yeah.
Give it a try.
So great. Well, it's closing time, George.
Sad
and
day.
it's been a great episode. So you
was fun.
guys, thanks again for listening and watching always to these episodes. We love that you tune in. Make sure to leave a review because it helps us so much with the algorithms. It helps us know what you like and what you don't like too.
It helps us make future episodes.
In the future.
See what I did there?
Da-da-da-da. And make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any episodes that come out every Thursday of Smart Money Happy Hour.